Peter Parker is a normal teenager who just wants to be a photographer. Both Peter's parents died, so he lives with his uncle and aunt. While he goes through high school, he usually gets laughed at or made fun of, but his entire life changed when he went to a science lab. One of the genetically enhanced spiders got out of its cage and bit Peter on his arm. Now, Peter has the powers of a spider. He can climb walls, shoot webs, and even has a spidey sense. Peter decides to use his powers to protect the city of Queens by being the masked hero, Spider-Man. Ripe apples. Peter knows that his life is changed forever and he can no longer do some of the things a normal teenager can. He learns that he has a responsibility with his new powers. Peter is seen multiple times sacrificing his life to save others. At many times, people hate him for helping, yet he still helps because he knows it is the right thing to do. Both his Aunt May and Uncle Ben try to help Peter with his teenage years. Uncle Ben especially gives Peter some good advice. Peter is offered a choice to join Green Goblin in ruling the city, but Peter turns down the offer. He says and believes that that is the wrong thing to do. We hear some mentions of spiritual matters. Uncle Ben says when he installs a light bulb, and God said let there be light. In another scene, Aunt May is heard reciting the Lord's Prayer. Rotten apples. We see a lot of violence in this movie. We see one person get cut multiple times and bleed. One person is shot, not shown but implied, and dies. Another is stabbed. We see many people turn into skeletons. Other explosions occur. Buildings also crash. Peter wants to seek revenge by killing his uncle's murderer, but after he does this, he learns it was the wrong thing to do. Peter is also seen snapping at his uncle. However, after Uncle Ben dies, he is sorry he did. MJ is seen wearing some revealing clothing. Some shows her stomach, while others reveal a lot of cleavage. Other women are seen in bikinis. Peter is seen shirtless in one scene. James J. Jameson is seen smoking something in a couple scenes. The language in this movie is not as bad as a typical Marvel movie. We hear 3 ass, 2 piss off, and 1 misuse of Jesus' name. We also hear about 3 misuses of the Lord's name. Peter is called some inappropriate names in the movie. Conclusion. Tobey Maguire plays my favorite version of Spider-Man. That's just my opinion. Tobey plays Peter Parker as a guy who wanted a normal life, but instead has to be a hero. As a hero, Peter has to make sacrifices, but it is all for the greater good. This movie teaches a good lesson on responsibility and doing what is right. Aside from the violence and language, this is a really great superhero movie. I highly recommend the movie to any superhero fan.